Hi, my name is Shaun Pascal. I'm a detective constable in the Metropolitan Police. I've been a police officer for 16 years. I worked in various different roles, but currently my role is working in a department called Outreach, which looks to recruit officers from Black and ethnic minorities and to promote policing. So yeah, that's what I do. I work with a team of 12 or 13 across London that cover different areas, and we're looking for ways of engaging with the community and young people for them to get a better understanding of policing and encourage them to at least have a look at joining or consider it because it is a very rewarding job. My experience has been a positive experience, I would say. I'm not saying it's been perfect, but on the whole, it has been positive. I joined in 2004. I was 31 years old when I joined, and I think for me it was a good age to join because I was able to bring some life experience to the job, which I think is very important. Um, but even at 31 years old, I had a lot to learn about myself and about so many things. And it's been an incredible journey for me in my own self development. I started out as a constable, but I quickly got involved in investigating crime. And I've been lucky enough to work with some brilliant detectives and officers, many of who are now retired. But just being able to work with them, I learned so much. Um, I got to work on a murder team, which is probably the highlight of my career, on many different high-profile investigations that often made front page news. And I walked away with a number of commendations for my participation in those investigations, and I'm really proud of the role I played in in um, in helping to solve a lot of those investigations and bring in um, justice to the families. Uh, so, um, much of my role when it came to the murder investigations was as a family liaison officer, which in the beginning I was very hesitant about. And it was just because I had friends that had been involved in family liaison work, and I have to take my hat off to them. Some of the jobs they're involved in were very, very testing. Um, but it was funny because my first day on the murder team, my chief inspector invited me into his office and he said, I've put your name down as a family liaison officer. And of course, I can't say no, I've just got there. Um, but I'm glad I did it. And I have to say that was probably my most favorite role because a lot of the investigation revolves around being a family liaison officer. And you have to work with the families, and they very much learn to rely on you as does the investigation. And also, you build a bond there as well. It's about winning their trust over, and you have to very much show the human side of you in that role, um, and take them through the whole process, which is not an easy process. From the funeral um, to seeing the body, and getting all the way to court. Um, and that can often take a year or two, or even longer. So, you know, you really do become part of their lives. So that's some of the roles I've been doing. But having done that, now I really want to sort of. I've done that for so long. Those sorts of roles. I'm really more focused on how we can deter people away from crime through early intervention, especially young people, and also encourage more people to join the police from the communities we serve. So that's where my passion is at this time. When I was growing up, I always had a lot of admiration for police. Um, I was somewhat aware of the issues that were going on, but the policeman was sort of like the friendly person you could go to, and and I often used to engage with local police officers, but because I was intrigued by who these people were and why people spoke about them in such a way, and they didn't seem that bad to me. So I didn't have that sort of fear factor. Maybe I was naive, I don't know. But I just never saw them as um, a threat, as perhaps some young people nowadays see them. In terms of the young people, obviously there's the issue of trust. That has been a huge barrier and continues to be a huge barrier. And it's and for me, um, whenever I've dealt with young people, I have to say they've never really given me a problem. And I think it's a lot to do with empathy and understanding them, and being in their shoes. Um, and because of that, they listen, and I'm able to engage with them. Um, and when they trust, and it doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you have to work at it, but when you win their trust, it's not something to play about with, or it takes a long time to do, and you have to uh, treat them with very gentle gloves, because they've already been through a lot, and they're taking a big chance in trusting you. So you have to show that you're fair, and you have to be transparent. And that's sort of how I approach things. Um, and I'll walk up to a group of young people straight away. I'll let them know who I am and what I do. Because if I don't, and then I tell them afterwards, you've already lost their trust. As the older ones, sometimes it doesn't happen. I don't get an opportunity to tell them what I do, but because we just start having a good conversation, and then I'll throw in there what I do, and they'll be like blown away. But at the same time, they'll be shaking my hand, because they'll see that I'm just a regular guy, just like them, and by then we've had a conversation. They know I understand them, and they understand me. So where do you go from there, really? um, so yeah, but yeah, I think that goes across the board.